Hi and welcome to another Words of Hope pastoral conversation. My name is Brian Venton and today's chat is titled Hopeless or Hopeful, and it's taken from our continuing series from Psalm 91, this time from verses 11 to 13, which reads, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot." Now, those of you who know me well, read my posts and watch my videos will know that I'm primarily pastorally motivated. I'm drawn more to the social sciences and the way Christian faith speaks into our human circumstance, our brokenness, our waywardness, our longings, and even our arrogance and our indifference. And whilst this is not everyone's cup of tea, I also take a keen interest in international affairs and what is happening around us. I see it as important to engage secular narratives and how those narratives might affect us as individuals, families, and our communities. Now, this is one of the reasons I started to do these Words of Hope pastoral conversations. I sense that many people are looking for answers beyond that which we see being offered by our secular systems of governance. People need hope. Some feel like they are in the grip of a giant clam or that of a deadly python, or like a lion latched to the neck of its prey with little chance of escape. Cynicism, pessimism, despair, and overwhelming feelings of powerlessness seem to consume people in ways like never before. Now, one good friend aptly and honestly described it this way. She said, "I feel that if you know what's planned for us, and I think there is now very little doubt as to what's around the corner, that there is very little, if anything, to find to still be hopeful about. Some days," she said, I'm so hopeless that I feel that for me to harbour any hope is just willful ignorance, which doesn't help anyone. And lying to oneself, trying to pretend there is hope, makes me feel even worse." Now, I'm not the only one that's noticing these rising emotions, and I admit that at times I too feel overwhelmed. It's now almost a daily occurrence where some astute researcher or analyst makes us aware of an agenda or a happening or an event that effectively squeezes the neck of our lives a little tighter. However, for me, irrespective of what is happening around us, I choose to engage the processes, not to be weakened and overcome by them, so I can better understand how to apply biblical truth to my own life and to help others along the way to do so as well. In today's reading, there is just one verse I want to focus on. It says, "God will set things in place to guard you in all your ways." The passage tells us that God will raise up a garrison of angels to protect our way. Now, we're not told how that will happen or what form it will take, but simply that we will be protected in all of our ways. As the text suggests, whether it is protection from the small stones, that is, the smaller things that would cause us to trip or stub our toes or stumble like a small child would stumble on an uneven ground, or whether it is protection from the lion and the adder, or as Spurgeon describes, from the boldest and treacherous of adversaries, or the strongest foe in power and the most mysterious in cunning. The one who trusts in God will be protected. But there's another aspect here that should not be lost to us. Samuel Slater, back in 1704, in his commentary on this phrase, said this: "The angel's commission to protect us in the way, large as it is, reaches no further. When you leave that, you lose your guard. And whilst you keep your way, angels, yea, the God of angels, will keep you. Do not so much fear losing your estate or your liberty or your lives as losing your way and leaving your way. Fear that more than any tiring or weariness. Nothing but sin exposes you to misery. Then he says this, so long as you keep your way, you shall keep other things. And if you lose any of them, you shall get what is better. Though you may be sufferers for Christ, you shall not be losers by him. It's beautifully written. Now, the promise is not to those who go and do their own thing, but to those who choose and desire to live in the way, who then enjoy God's protections. Now, when I read Sletter's comments, I was reminded of Proverbs 3:6, where it says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Friends, please don't despair. Don't be discouraged. Be hopeful, not hopeless. Allow yourself to be drawn into the heart of God. Rest in him. Seek your refuge in him, and take your abode in him. My parents both died in 2019, just 3 months apart from each other. They were in their 90s and were married for some 72 years. They were given this glass-framed scripture as a wedding gift, and it always hung in the hallway of the family home, visible to all who came and went. It says, commit your way unto the Lord. But the text also says, trust in him, and he shall bring things to pass. Friends, no matter what transpires in the future, and I think my friend is right when she says there is now very little doubt as to what lays around the corner for us. Our hope is to be found not in secular solutions alone, but in God and the guardianship that he places over our lives if we trust in him. I invite you to come and find that quiet place of rest near to the heart of God. Commit your way unto him, trust him, and let him direct your way. The antidote to these debilitating emotions of hopelessness is to put our hope in God, who has promised to guard us in all our ways. Now, I trust this chat has been helpful for you today, and I look forward to catching up with you again next week. But thanks for watching, and please subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends if you have found it encouraging to your own life today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.